Click to subscribe to our channel. We're busy posting new videos all the time. Lots of interesting plants, including some hardy, easy to grow and highly reliable varieties of native species too. Take for example this fantastic selection of our native smooth hydrangea. This is Hydrangea Invincibelle Ruby, a selection that was made by Dr. Tom Rainey from his wonderful breeding program at North Carolina State University. This one is absolutely incredible in that it gets to about 3 to 4 foot with lots of strong luxuriant growth that's produced in springtime all the way through the summer, and then when it starts to flower, as you see, it produces these burgundy flower buds that are carried in tremendous profusion are all over the tops of the plants. As they develop, you'll see that the flower petals begin to come out, and then they have this lovely two-toned effect. Eventually, as the flowers mature and then go through to their stages, you'll see that they go through to a nice kind of silvery pink, and then eventually after several weeks they'll actually start to take on a greenish shade too, and that means that you've got a tremendous selection of different types of colorful flowers all on the one plant. Now, one of the things that I should mention about this is that because it's developed from a hardy native species that grows from southern New York all the way down to Florida and westwards to Kansas and Oklahoma, it's a tough, hardy, Zone 3 plant. Here's one that's going to grow and flower regardless of the winter conditions. And as you look at the plants here now, you'll see that they're producing all of these lovely flowers on strong shoots that come from the base of the plant. And one of the things that I'd suggest you think about if you're growing this plant is that you prune it hard back each spring to about 6 to 8 inches from the ground. That will encourage it to produce lots of strong luxuriant growth, and then flower heads that, believe it or not, once the plant gets established in the ground, which will take about 2 or 3 years, it will produce flower heads that can be as much as 6, 8, 10, and sometimes, would you even believe, as much as 12 inches in diameter. Big rounded heads that are just absolutely glorious and easy to look after. Outside of that, you'll find that it reblooms very well through the season. These plants, as you see, are busy making bud here, which keeps the succession of flower going right through to the early part of the autumn time. But a little trick that we employ here in the nursery that you might want to emulate if you have the time, and this is only optional, but what you'll see is we go through the nursery every now and then and we'll cut our plants hard back. You see here's some plants that were trimmed just about a week or 10 days ago, and already you'll see they're making lots of young growth. Now in about 4 or 5 weeks time, in fact there's a shoot that's just now beginning to grow out. In 4 or 5 weeks time these will grow up and then flower, and when they do, it'll give you a plant that's rounded, more tidy, more compact, and also has flowers that are all flushing about the same time. And you can do that a couple of times during the growing season if you prefer. But if on the other hand you're busy and you don't have time to really get into all of that, that'll be fine, because they will keep on growing and keep on flowering on their own. This is just a way to be able to concentrate the color. And it's a lovely plant to put in a sunny, well-drained, average garden site. You could grow it as a single specimen, or what about putting a nice big bed of plants like this that will give you this lovely massed effect. Lots that I could tell you about it, but really short and simple to say, this is a wonderful selection from Proven Winners of our native smooth hydrangea. This is Hydrangea Invincibelle Ruby.